Hey guys, Lewis here, and in this video today I'd like to have a chat about how to get gypsy jazz style arpeggios and turn them into more melodic lines and phrases. It's a question I get asked a lot about with my students, because we sit here together and learn the actual arpeggios, but turning them actually into usable licks and lines, that's another thing altogether. So we'll have a good chat about that. But just before we jump in though, I'd just like to quickly mention that I've just set up a buy me a coffee page. Within that, there's lots of packages about lessons and also an option for a small donation if you do enjoy watching my videos and get something out of it. You know, I don't earn any money from doing this. I just do it just to try and give back a bit. So if you do enjoy watching my videos, please check that out, and even a small donation would be really appreciated. But anyway, enough with that. Let's jump in with the video. I think a good starting point would be to be sort of a 2-5-1s, because that's what comes up in most gypsy jazz tunes, right? So I'll base it in C major first. That's like D minor 7, G7, and C major 7. So if I play the arpeggios first of all. So that's our little area we're going to focus on at the moment. So how do we connect these together? So what you could do is, if you think about it, if I keep it in time, so D minor, G7, and then 2 bars of C. So you can play around in that D minor style arpeggio. Now, as soon as you finish on a note before you get into G7, you've got to think about where is the nearest note within the next arpeggio. Like I said, I can sort of see this. So I can see that on the guitar. So now I've got that, I go. Okay, I aim for that note when that G7 came about. Do da da ba 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 da da. Because that note happens to be the minor 3rd of D minor, but it's also the flat 7 of G7. There it is there. So that's a really good note to blend the two together, right? So if there's ever any similarities in the arpeggios between multiple chords, you can use that to spell it out. So this idea so far. Okay, from there. Okay, what did I just do there, right? So I hit the G7, I went down the arpeggio, back up it, and I hit this little sort of sharp 5 sound. So I just went a semitone up from the G. Okay. And then from there, the flat 7, the 5th, and then I hit this note. Now this note would technically be the 6th of G, so you wouldn't aim for that, but you'd hit that because on the C, da 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 da, it's the 3rd. So based in this area so far, we've got these little areas. So, and we turned it into something like this. So in my head I can hear like, you practice with this with a metronome as well, right? 2, 3, 4. Okay, what did I do there? I could bend into the note. Very Django style. Went down the arpeggio and resolved it from there. So we turn this into something actually musical, right, that you could use. Once you find something and you feel comfortable with it, change key, right? So if we're in coquette, you know, you've got this little 2-5-1 into D. It works, right? So when you actually find an idea that you actually like, move it around and play around with it. Okay, let's pick another example. If you base it over a tune now exactly, let's say like All of Me, because we all play that all the time. You're going to think about, okay, what chords am I playing and connecting together? C, E7, okay, so that's the starting point. So you want to have C and E7 as an arpeggio down, ready to go, in multiple positions as well. So C, major 7, and then an E7, so make sure you got, that's your starting point. You need to have them connected together. Then find where the roots are and see how close you can get them. So C and E. It's a great starting point, right? Because that's the 8th fret on the E string and the 7th fret on the A string. So my arpeggio here, E. So they're nice and close by. So when it goes, you could sit there and muck about in the C major sort of area. Okay. Okay, E7's coming up. So as that one beat happens on E7, you need to hit a note that's inside the E7 arpeggio. Okay, as soon as I hit this note, it's this note here inside of E. Okay, it's the 3rd. So you can hear that. There it is, right? And that's what makes it really connect together. And then from there, you could just do a little E7 lick if you've got one. Or if you're sticking in the arpeggio world, you could just play a little E, go down the E arpeggio. I make this up. Okay, so we can hear the two chords now connected together. You've probably seen a few embellishments that I've included so far. In Gypsy jazz with the arpeggio, I like to use enclosures. So just go in a semitone either direction of the note I'm on. So I did something like already, right? There. Very Gypsy jazz that. Lots of vibrato on the changes. A little trick you can use over dominant 7th arpeggios, which I use a lot. If you get the E7 and just get the E's and move it up a semitone, it turns into this sort of diminished arpeggio, and it sounds really cool to add a bit of tension before. After. Excuse me. There's that. Right. Sounds really cool. So if I get that first bit of All of Me, C. Right, so that's got a bit more colour involved. A bit faster. Right. Once again, lots of enclosures. So I'm using that a lot as well, which sounds great. But what I'm getting at mainly is, as you know, when it hit the 1 beat on the E7, I went through from there. What's the next 3 chords? E half diminished, A7, D minor. Okay, so what's that? That's a minor 2-5-1 in D minor. So that's another really big thing you need to know, right? Because it's A half diminished, A7, D minor. So if you think about timing, can't you see I'm no good without you? So if I just play the arpeggios, a bit more musical. Okay, so what did I do there? Just played the E half diminished and I held the last 3 notes of it. And then A7, I did that trick where, like I said, you get a dominant arpeggio and raise the root up a semitone. For that diminished one. And then when it got to the 1 beat of D minor, I emphasised just the minor third. So. Come on, 2, 3, 4. So all of me so far, here's the arpeggios. Sorry, C7. E7, E half diminished, A7, and there's D minor. So I can sort of map it out and I can see it. And then I try and turn it into some lines or play it steady. So that's a usable set of arpeggios there, and I'm only thinking arpeggios there really. What's the next chord? Back to E7, A minor, right? You want to have these ready to go. D7, 2, 5, 1 in C, like we talked about earlier. So before you know it, you're grabbing things that we talked about before and you're putting it all over the place. Main things to think about is still including all your techniques that you'd normally want to do in your solos. So in gypsy jazz, enclosures, little bends, slides, lots of vibrato. And it's about when you hit that 1 beat of the change, you're really emphasising a note depending on the chord you're on. So you're not going too late as well. So it needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's hard to count and play, right? 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. A minor, D7, D minor, the lick we played earlier. It goes to E7 next, so the 2, 5, 1. It goes F to F minor, so that's a perfect opportunity to spell it out with arpeggios. F minor, right? Because there's 1 note difference, right, between F and F minor. It's the third, so you need to really emphasise this. Da, 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 da. And then my ear told me there. Right, and now we're down C again. Because if you think about that, F major, just got this little area by the way, F minor, just moving that third down. And then if you think about it, the next note after that is a C. Now there's a C inside this sort of area as well. So you could go, excuse me, F. And back to C. A7, D minor, G7. Okay, let me do one's round of all of me, steady, with some arpeggios and sort of see how I'm connecting these all together now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Same lick. So I wasn't really like doing some crazy improvising there. I was just taking it steady and working my way and mapping out the arpeggios. But it sounded like gypsy jazz, right? You know, that's the good thing. And so obviously if you need a bit of work on the arpeggios, sit there, and the first thing is get those arpeggios down over songs and over changes. And we've obviously just chatted about how to make them sound a bit more musical. So yeah, I hope this has helped you. You know, I appreciate there's a lot of information and there's a lot of things potentially you have to work on to be able to do that. If I can help in any way, I will. As I've mentioned before, I do online lessons, and in the link below there's lots of information about the lessons and that buy me a coffee page as well. So I hope this has helped. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.